This is fair use, fair use. I do not get paid or benefit from none of these videos. According to the Act 1976 Act, this is only for educational purposes only. So, thank you.
May have been right. He talks about preparing for civil war. Now he hopes to establish a whites-only community right here in Tennessee. Eric Orwall has already made headlines with the whites-only community he's now building in Arkansas. Tonight, as part of his ongoing Confronting Hate investigation, our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams uncovers some exclusive new details about this controversial figure and what he has planned for the volunteer state. And Phil, I understand you had some tough questions for this man.
That's right. I had questions about his plans for that whites-only community, questions about his views on Adolf Hitler and the Holocaust, questions about his ties to the white nationalist Patriot Front and his talk of civil war, as well as questions about his upcoming appearance at a white nationalist conference right here in Middle Tennessee.
No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA!
We were there last year as anti-fascist protesters raised their voices in opposition to the annual gathering of white nationalists at Montgomery Bell State Park. The American Renaissance Conference is scheduled to return to the park in mid-November.
We have a community for white Americans who value their European ancestry.
Among the speakers is a far-right figure who's recently made headlines around the globe with his plan to create a whites-only community in northeastern Arkansas.
Of course, we're concerned about the ability of white Americans to have their own communities in the future, and I think this is a discussion that needs to happen.
Eric Orwall told me he wants to test federal fair housing laws, which is why he created a group called Return to the Land as a private membership association, in other words, a private club, with plans to create other whites-only communities.
For the whopping price of $0 in monthly fees, Chime will spot up to $200 between each paycheck. You won't get declined if you stay in your spot me limit. You won't.
Right now, there are a few hot spots that we're honing in on: Idaho, Tennessee, the Ozarks.
You say Tennessee?
Yeah, that's one of those hot spots.
And where in Tennessee are you looking at?
A few different locations: Eastern Tennessee, Central Tennessee. So I'm not going to give away specific zip codes or anything.
His website shows a map that includes the eastern part of Middle Tennessee and East Tennessee that make up Appalachia, which would include Jackson County, where Christian nationalists are also hoping to establish their own community, giving some of the same reasons Orwall gives for choosing the region.
But Appalachia in general has a lot of founding stock Americans who are very rooted to the land here, you know? People who came over more recently might not have that very deep sense of white American identity.
We have to look for ways where we can securely have our own territory that is actually ours.
Presenting himself as a thoughtful person, Eric Orwall chooses his words carefully when describing his personal beliefs. How do you describe yourself? Are you a white supremacist, white nationalist, neo-Nazi, any of the above?
None of the above. I'm a white identitarian. I think that ethnic identity, racial and ethnic identity, is a big part of who you are.
While portraying himself as someone mainly interested in preserving white heritage, Orwall has developed a close relationship with the white nationalist Patriot Front, which wants to turn the U.S. into an ethno-state for whites only. What is your relationship with the Patriot Front?
I believe that they are...
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory praise to my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and teach us truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect scattered on four corners of the earth. To you, I want to say shalom. And shalom to the Akim that's out there being a spiritual sacrifice in the spiritual warfare, risking your lives for the truth and gospel. To you, I want to say shalom. It's your brother Nakar coming with another edifying lesson, and this is fair use, fair use. I know I probably put it in the beginning of the video, but you know, you still got to say it. But of course, I feel like I do one of these videos once every 2 months, 3 months, because every time the news article pops up, but As you can see, Esau, Edomites want to tap back in that spirit and that Cain spirit, man. And I showed y'all some of the comments, just to see how people, reaction about it. Even though these people don't know what's going on, but this is what they want. They want chaos in the last days. But anyway, I like to do these videos is to remind you people who the wicked really is, and this for you so-called Negroes and Latinos and other Americans who want to save the heathen so bad. But this what the heathen thinks. They want power. They don't want equality. They want to run this shit. You see what I'm saying? Even though they already they said, Job chapter 9 verse 24, the hands is given to the world is given to the hands of the wicked, and who come with the fist of judges thereof. So he already has the world, but they want more. You see what I'm saying? So, and the times that we in, they talking back in that spirit. But I do wanna get a couple of precepts on this and close it out. It gonna be too long, but I like to show this to give an example of the Edomite spirit, that we can never be equal. We can never come together. You see what I'm saying? Just get out that fucking mindset, Jake. But I want to start with the book of Psalms, 139. And Lord, one of this not lagging the land, but I don't know what this how this stream record be, but Salakia if it's the land. So this is the book of Psalms, 139, verse 19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O power. Depart from me, therefore, you blooded men. For they speak against the wickedly, and thy enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that hate thee, and I am not grieved with those that rise against thee. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Search me, O power, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. So this basically saying that, and this would go for 2/3 of our people too, but we hate what the Heavenly Father hates. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Romans 9 and 13. Romans chapter 9, verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Heavenly Father hates Esau. So we can hate the same thing. Esau is a so-called self-proclaimed white man. Now, is all so-called white men, or is Esau? No. You see what I'm saying? We scattered abroad somewhere on Jake's. But also Psalms 83, I'm going to get an NLT version. It tells you who your enemy is. So it's not just Esau. We hate all our enemies, man. That's why some of you guys, especially you men out there, y'all got that pussy-ass mindset. Y'all don't got that mindset to rule yet, man. Y'all got that pussy-ass mindset of trying to love everybody. Weird-ass niggas. I want to get the NLT version, because these are our fucking enemies, man. So this is Psalms 83. I'm going to start at 1. O power, do not be silent, do not be deaf, do not be quiet, O power. Don't you hear the uproar of your enemies? Don't you see that your arrogant enemies are rising up? They devise crafty schemes against your people, and they conspire against your precious ones. And then they don't do that with the projects, with this fucking drum music, poisoning your foods and doing all these things to you, and pointing the finger at Jake. Jake always on the news, man. This is Psalms 83, verse 4 in the NLT. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. We would destroy the very memory of its existence. Yeah, this was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as their allies against you, these Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, Ishmaelites, the Medo-Israelites, Moabites, Chinese, and Haggites, and Gibeonites, Ammonites, the so-called Japanese, and Amalekites, also the small hats, but same thing as Esau feminine line. And people from Philistine and Tyre, they are the so-called Hermites. You see what I'm saying? So these are our enemies right here. And the names them for you, right in the NLT version. Let's get the KJV version. Yeah, both the same thing. So now we'll go to Psalms 140. Because it tells you who is the wicked, and the wicked is Esau. So this is Psalms 140, verses 1. Psalms chapter 140, verse 1. Deliver me, O Lord, Yahweh Shem, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart, and continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent, and that is poison under their lips. Salih. So, and that what they're doing? They're always talking about. That's basically a civil war. A whites only community, a patriarch. That's what they want. They're very violent, man. See, I always say this: the 2/3 niggas is a problem, but Esau is the problem. He's the one who's running the world. You see what I'm saying? That's what the whole world is mourning right now. So yeah. So what other shirts I want to go to? Now let's go to Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame should cover thee, and thou should be cut off forever. So you got to put in perspective, Esau is that twin brother. You see what I'm saying? And I know for all nations, they are against us anyway, which I'm going to go to later on in this video. But also I want to show you that he rather see other nations up top. Psalms 50, verse 20. Thou sittest and speak against thy brother, and sentest thy own mother's son. So, Esau is a twin brother. He's a wicked twin brother. You see what I'm saying? He rather see other nations up top over you before anybody else. Let's get another translation. This is Psalms 50, verse 20. You sit around slander your brother, your own mother's son. And he's telling back in that spirit, when he said, I should kill my brother Jacob. I think it's Genesis 27. Bear with me here. Let me find it for you. It said the stolen blessings wasn't stolen. It was predestined. You remember me, it had been a while since I've been there. Here we go. So Genesis 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then I would slay my brother Jacob. That's just this whole thing, man. It's over the birthright at the end of the day. Now, all the other nations hate us. Lamentations 2, verses, I'm going to start at 15 in the NLT version. All who pass by jeer at you. They scoff and assault beautiful Jerusalem, saying, is this the city called most beautiful in all the world, and joy of all the earth? All your enemies mock you. They scoff and snare and say, we have destroyed her at last. We have long waited for this day. It is finally here. But it's the Lord, Yahweh Shem who did it. As he just planned, he has fulfilled the promise of disasters he made long ago. He has destroyed Jerusalem without mercy. He caused her enemies to go over her and was given them power over her. So the same people y'all want to save and fight for the salvation for are the same people who don't care for you. They was glad when we came down to a lower state. We damn near at the bottom of the barrel. We are at the bottom of the barrel, man. Now let's get to Baruch 4. Baruch chapter 4. I'm going to give you verse 3. Give not thy honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. And that's what y'all doing, man. Y'all giving away y'all salvation to other nations who don't see you as nothing. You see what I'm saying? They mock and scoff at you. They don't care for you. They don't care about you. But Jay, you still want to break your neck and break your back for these other nations who don't care for you. And you're going to see it. Because most of y'all just want to save Esau for some reason. You got Stockholm Syndrome. Now, actually, go to Ezekiel 35, man. Cause we're gonna show y'all today, bro. So this is Ezekiel 35, verse 5. Now you go to 1, this is talking about Esau. I'm going to start at 1. Ezekiel 35, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashir Shah, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and that's a government body of the Edomites, and prophesies against it, and say, This said the Lord, Yahweh Bashir Shah, the Most High, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. I have stretched out my hand against thee, and I make thee most desolate. I will lay the cities waste, and they shall be desolate, and they shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah. This is the main point right here. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity, had an end. So basically, our punishment curses was being scattered all over 2864, Deuteronomy 2064. But Esau laid a heavily yoked on us. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, as I live, said the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sif thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So they will always have a perpetual hatred against you, Jake, because they only doing this to Jake. They're not doing this to nobody else. They making a whites only community a civil war for only the so-called Latinos, Negroes, and Native Americans. No, they're not doing it against nobody else. Only against you, Jake. You see what I'm saying? Because we always tell you, this world always been, or this America has been built up bloodshed. You see what I'm saying? And I showed you the comments just to see how pussified Jake is, man. I don't care if they build a city like that. I said, well, you don't care, but then, every time you bring up the Black Wall Street, you over there crying and shit, but hey, whatever, it's you, Jake. Habakkuk 2, chapter 2, verse 12. Woe to him that built up a town of blood, and established a city by iniquity, man. So this whole 5,000 miles, however long Great Babylon is, it just built up straight bloodshed, man. Thieves, man, robbery, iniquity, all these smokes running everywhere, adultery everywhere. This place is through, man. This place gotta go, man. You see what I'm saying? But we're telling you in these days that it just only gonna get worse and worse. And I always go to this one, Revelation 64. So this is Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And they went on another horse that was red, and power was given to him to sit thereon to take the peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So that was Esau's blessing. You see what I'm saying? So he doesn't know peace. Only thing he knows destruction. And this is all we always warn you, Jakes, out there, man. What times we in, they pushing this civil war. That's why the news post these articles like that. It's for a reason. You see what I'm saying? Now I do want to close out with the Book of Sirach, chapter 12. And it closes out there, but it's a little short, quick lesson. And I feel like every other month I just have to post a video like that just to show Jake, man, who your real enemy is, man. Cause Jake, you still lost, but it doesn't matter. When this shit all break loose, you'll see who your real enemy is, man. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes, which known as the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like an arm rusteth, so he is wickedness. Thou he humbled himself and go crunching, yet took good heed, and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking gas, and they shall know that his rust hath been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in the place, neither let him sit at the right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And they has last remember my words and be pricked therein. Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent or any such as come that wild beast? And I read to you in the Psalms 140, serpent like tongues like serpent. You see what I'm saying? They sound good with their words, but they just straight, devil. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him, and his sins will be pity. For a while he will abide with thee, but if they begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagine how to throw thee into a pit. And he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will be satisfied with blood. And that's a so-called white man. That's what they do. They imagine mischief in their heart, man. They are the wicked for a reason, man. What else want to get? I'm thinking about something. I can't really think about it right now. I'm thinking not Malachi. It's Malachi. Or maybe it's the well, let's read this. It's also a good one too. This is Malachi 1 and 4. The burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Yet ye say, where has thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. I laid his mountains and his heritage waste for dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are improvised, but we will return and build the desolate places. This said the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua host. They should build, but I should throw down. They should call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua have indignation forever. So, the Heavenly Father hates these motherfuckers, and we also hate these motherfuckers too. You see what I'm saying? So get out that pussy ass spirit, Jake. It tells you in Psalms 139, do not hate thee, but also you hate. You see what I'm saying? We hate what the Heavenly Father hates, man. He don't like Esau. We don't like his ass either. So, Lord, when you find a lesson edify, you got something from it. It's a little quick, short lesson. And a reminder to you soft-ass Jakes out there. I want to give all glory praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, Shalom.